My name's Natalie, and I live in Salt Lake City, Utah. I'm a easy breezy 33-year-old, and I'm a clinical exercise physiologist. I do cardiopulmonary rehab. I absolutely love my job. I love all things outdoors. I love this state. I'm a mover and a shaker. I'm physically active. I work out every day for the most part. I mountain bike. I backpack. I just like to have fun. But TMS didn't start to get really bad for me until I was 28 years old. I've always had things like stress headaches. I had GI issues. But when I was 28, that's when it really hit me hard. And at that time, I was going to school full time. I was working full time. I just had a lot going on in my life, and it was just the most terrible time to start getting lower back pain. But out of nowhere, this back pain appeared. I didn't do any sort of injure it with any sport or anything like that. It just started to appear, and I thought at first it was a kidney infection, but it just didn't go away, and it got worse and worse. And I tried to do all sorts of things. I went to the chiropractor. I hung on an inverter upside down for Lord knows how long. I did Bikram yoga. I finally resorted to going to see a specialist, and I'll never forget that day. This specialist did an MRI, and he told me that I had a bulging disc in between L4 and L5, and my only options were to get cortisone injections, which would basically, I'd have to get them forever, and they would destroy my bones, and I really didn't want to go that route, and they didn't always work. He told me I could have surgery, or he told me that he could give me muscle relaxers, and I didn't like any of those options. And he basically just told me if I didn't do any of them that I was going to live a life of pain. And so I just remember going out to my car and just absolutely sobbing and just thinking to myself, if my life was going to be like this for the rest of my life, that I was just going to end it in 5 years, because I just couldn't handle being in that much pain. I had absolutely no joy in my life whatsoever. My life revolved around going to bed in pain and waking up in pain, and I couldn't bend. I would clean the house on my hands and knees because I couldn't stand up sometimes. I couldn't watch a movie. My life just revolved around this issue that I had. And desperate times call for desperate measures. And when that happened, when all of this happened, the whole time I felt like there was another way. Like my body was not supposed to be in pain, but I didn't know how, and I didn't know what I was going to do to fix it. And so that was when I researched online, and I read a book, and pretty much overnight my symptoms disappeared, and I was healed, and it was just this miraculous thing, and I felt great. I was able to do all the old things that I used to do, and I was just so thankful and grateful. And then about 4 years later, I went to bed one night, and I woke up, and I couldn't move my neck to the left. I couldn't turn it. And they told me that I had torticollis, and basically it's like a frozen shoulder neck thing. And it should go away in 10 days. Well, it went away, but then it came back. And here I was again in this chronic pain cycle, and I would wake up just conditioning myself, being in pain. I couldn't move my neck. I had to call in sick from work. It was affecting my job. I was starting to really worried that maybe I had something wrong with my neck, like with the discs again, or, I didn't know what to do. I would use a tennis ball and put it against the wall and try to rub the knots out. And the chronic pain continued for about 3 months when I finally realized that it was TMS again. And so I read the book, a TMS book, and I thought that immediately I would be healed. But this time it didn't work. And I didn't know what to do. I started freaking out and getting more desperate because the first time it worked and this time it didn't. And so I started doing more research and talking to more people about TMS. And that's when I ran into The Great Pain Deception. And that book was the book that ultimately helped me heal. This book gave me a greater understanding of myself. It completely changed my life. The psychology behind it helped me understand why I am the way that I am and why I'm reacting to things the way that I'm reacting to them. And it really helped me take a look at my life and the thoughts that run through my head and appreciate my life in a whole different way and go about it a whole different way. And it's really funny because, with Steve in the book, he talks about how when he read some of the TMS books, he could see himself in it, and he would get mad, and he threw the book across the room. And that's actually exactly how I felt with his book. I felt like he described me so well on every page, and in a way that actually enraged me because I knew that he was right. But it helped me really take a deep look at myself, at my inner self, because what I learned from that book is that nobody else can heal you. Only you can heal you. It was a really dark, lonely time, but Steve's book really helped me kind of overcome that because of the patience and the perseverance that he had. That helped me, and it gave me a lot of hope to know that in the end I would be okay, and to just hold on for a little bit longer. So with that book, it's an absolutely gorgeous book. It goes over why people have TMS. It helps you understand yourself better. And before, I didn't realize that I had a dark side. I just never could imagine that I could have that side, or just different ways of looking at life and being in the present moment. Because what kind of a life is it if you're just worrying about the past, or worrying about the future instead of living in the present moment? And because of that book, I now appreciate life so much more, and I try to practice mindfulness every day. And because you have no other moment besides this moment right now, and that really helped me. And now I actually listen to my body. That book helped me to not fear pain, but to use it as a tool for knowing what's happening in my life, and what do I need to look at, what aspect of my life is going on with me emotionally that I need to fix. Because when your body manifests pain, it's manifesting emotions as well, because it's all connected. Your mind and your body are connected. They're one entity. They're one being. And I think we as a society make the mistake of not only do we separate, different parts of the body, but we totally separate the mind from the body. And before that book, I was like a meat suit on autopilot. And now I realize what I am, and I pay attention. I enjoy my emotions that I have. I listen to them. I listen to my body. I care about the thoughts that I have. I'm a deliberate thinker, where before my mind would just go and stress and go and stress and stress and stress. And now I'm able to take a step back. And so because of all of those things that I went through, I wouldn't trade it for the world, because I live my life now so much fuller than I ever thought possible. But there was some really dark moments in my life, but it was absolutely worth it. And now I know that it's possible to live a life pain-free. So I do whatever the hell I want now. I mountain bike all the time. I just went on a 7-mile hike the other day. It was just absolutely beautiful. I'm going on a backpacking trip. I'm going to be carrying a 30-40 pound backpack going to Nevada. I do anything physical. I twist, I move, I do yoga, I jump, I live my life. I live my life with purpose. I live my life with joy. I'm mindful, and I'm grateful, and I'm appreciative, and I have hope, and I am open to new possibilities. My doctor was wrong. I had TMS.